Home Sweet Home Rebirth is directed by Stefan Hacker and Alexandra Kiesel and is currently streaming online. I saw it on Amazon. Now, this movie is based on a video game of the same name and is a first-person survival horror game based on real-world Thai mythology and lore. Now, I saw some gameplay, and this movie doesn't really have the same vibe, but I mean, I didn't get too deep into the game, so maybe later on it does. I'm not sure, but anyhow, let's get into the story. So, you have this dude with his family on vacation in Thailand, and while his wife and daughter enjoying themselves, this dude's on business calls, you know, and just not paying attention to his family, basically. Then out of nowhere, while the family is at a mall shopping, some dude just like out of nowhere pulls out a gun, starts randomly killing people, and all hell breaks loose. Literally, a world where demons basically connect to the real world and have people attacking each other and all this shit, dude. It's just like total anarchy, I guess you could say. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, so the husband's name is Jake, okay? He's basically the main character. He gets separated from his family, or should I say leaves his family behind because he's more interested in saving other people than his own family, and I mean that, dude. It's wild. But anyhow, though, later in the story, though, he's confronted by this monk telling Jake that he's the gatekeeper of the hell world, that Jake is the gatekeeper of the hell world, whatever you want to call it. And he opened the gates, and now he has to fight to close it back. So, yeah. I watched this with my mom. She enjoyed it more than I did. I mean, I thought it was alright, I guess, you know. I wish there was more bloody violence. I guess maybe recently I just been in this mode where I need some violence. I need some bloody nastiness. And I just haven't had that quite yet, so I'm kind of waiting for that movie, I guess, to come into my life. Anyways, though, the plot was a little lacking, and it seemed like they spent most of the money on CGI monsters. The characters just like, you know, they were I guess you could say. Except for, I will say this though, Jake's daughter, the little girl who played Jake's daughter, damn, she was adorable and she could act. Kudos to that girl, dude. Plus, she was the smartest one in the movie, the smartest one. So I'll give them kudos for that as well. She was so badass, so much so that I actually may have to add her into the Queen Brigade, dude. You know, child division, I guess. if I get enough to actually put in that this year though. But anyhow though. So I'll say this, there was action for sure. I mean, definitely a lot of action and whatnot, but I don't know, I just wanted more gore. I don't know, I wanted more gore. And for a low budget flick though, I'll say the special effects were decent for what they were. I'll admit this ain't a movie I'll be running back to watch, but it was okay enough to get me through one sitting. One thing I like to say that they actually addressed is all Jake's flaws and why things were actually happening to him and whatnot and his family. And I'm assuming that's probably because it was connected to the story. Still, you know, it was. I thought it was a good thing to see. Dude, there was a scene that had a badass setup that could have been. It could have been such a good scene. I mean, it was fine for what it was though, but I guess my mind is putting all these other things out there, which maybe I shouldn't have done. But or actually, possibly they could have just ran out of money and decided not to actually do anything with the scene or add to it. Or maybe, like I said, I was just reading too much into it, possibly too. Who knows? But I'll just say this. Remember that scene from Silent Hill when they were in like the hospital with all those nurses who were just like, they were still like, you know, mannequins, and any like little noise you made would start moving? Yeah. That's what that scene reminded me of. That's all I'll say. Oh well. I'll just say this. If you absolutely have nothing else to watch, then check this out. It costs about $7 though, or $6.99 to rent though, at least on Amazon. Not sure how much it is on YouTube and whatever else, but I don't know. It is what it is. But now staying with the whole demon type flicks, I have an animated one that came out in 2021, dude, 4 years ago, called Spine of Night. Ultra-violent epic fantasy set in a land of magic follows heroes from different eras and cultures battling against a malevolent force. It's the same style of animation they did for heavy metal back in the 80s. I think they call it rotoscoping, I believe. Rotoscoping. And it's a pretty violent movie, dude, with multiple stories that are interconnected. Just a strange one, but I just couldn't take my eyes off the screen, dude, because it was just so all over the place and crazy and wild and just so beautifully violent, dude. Oh, I need that. Anyhow, though, it's available on YouTube, and I believe it's also still available on Shudder, because that's where I saw it back in the day. But anyhow, though, that's all for today. Stay nasty, my friends, and I will see you at the next one. Shade Nasty out.
I'll see you soon.
Like and subscribe.